Welcome back to World Drum Club, everyone. I'm Kalani. I'm so excited to bring you a good look and listen at all of the following Hawaiian percussion instruments. Ipu, Ipu Heke, Pahu, Ili'ili, Caxixi, Pu'Ili, Uli'uli, Kala'au, and one more. It's not quite percussion, but it's a really cool instrument. I'm going to save it for the end of the video, so keep on watching. Now, before we get started, I want to let you guys know that I grew up around all of these instruments and around Hawaiian music. My mother danced hula from the moment I can remember, and we were always going to luau's and really immersed in Hawaiian culture. And then when we went to my grandmother's house, it was full-on Hawaiian because she was born and raised in Hawaii and remarried a full-blooded Hawaiian, so it was full-on Hawaiian, everything at Grandma's house, which is why I love poi, and if you know, you know. And then later in life, my mother actually founded a hula club called Hula Mai, which you guys can look up, hulamai.org. I'll leave a link below. So I've been around this music my entire life. It's part of my culture. So even though I don't look like I grew up in Hawaii, newsflash, I grew up in Oakland, I love it. It's just, I'm so proud to be part Hawaiian and have that legacy. And I am also a very experienced music educator, and I'm a professional percussionist. So my goal is to get you guys started, show you the instruments, let you have a great look and listen at them, and then point you guys in a direction where you can learn more. All right? So let's get started with our first instrument. Ipu. All right? So the Ipu is a basic instrument. It's one of the most ubiquitous Hawaiian instruments. It's probably the one that you've seen the most because it's used by hula dancers, both in the traditional hula and sometimes in the modern hula. It's a gourd, all right? And this one, I actually took off the beads of a shakere. This was a shakere that I made, but I took the beads off, and we have the Ipu. So let me play it for you. I'm going to strike the bottom with my palm. And you can hear how resonant that is, right? So we strike the bass with our palm, and then we also strike it with our fingers. Let me show you the inside. Yes, it is hollowed out, and we cut the top off, and then we'd clean it, and this has been sealed. You can see it's been sealed with, in this case, some kind of varathane. And that's it. Very simple. But we're not done with the Ipu. All right, let's move on and check this one out. This is called the Ipu Heke. And yes, it is what it looks like. It's two gourds that have been joined. And I've got a nice rope handle here. And it's got a little bit deeper sound. So I'm going to play that for you right now. This drum is beautiful. Now we're getting into a little bit more expensive instrument. So I bought this one from a gentleman here in Southern California. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but they're not cheap, so don't expect them to be cheap. This is a crafted instrument, but it's beautiful. And, hold on, wait for it, wait for it. Oh my God, what is happening? All right, this one is what we would call an Ipu Heke or an Ipu Hula. Now this one, it's very big, you guys. It's huge, right? And I'm not going to play it right now. I have some video of me playing it in the house because you're going to play this one seated on the ground, and you have to tap it on something a little bit soft on the ground as well. So this is played by the kumuhula usually, and it's played exclusively for traditional hula and chanting, and that's the music. But this is an amazing instrument. It's just gorgeous, and here's what it sounds like. Oh my God. Now we would normally strike it down. I'll play you guys the video right now. Next up, we've got the Pahu. Oh my goodness, another big instrument that's too big for me to play in my little studio here. But isn't this gorgeous? So my mother had this drum made. It's made from coconut. Traditionally, the head would be shark skin, but we're not doing that in this case. So this is probably a calf skin or something similar. It's got rope. Let me show you a close-up in the overhead so you can see the beautiful carving. I also want to show you the bottom because it's not going all the way through, so the bottom is closed. This is made in the traditional style. Take a look at that. Beautiful coconut shell, and here's the head. Okay, so like I mentioned, that is a big boy. This drum is used more in ceremony. It's not so much, it can be used in hula, traditional hula, but it's more for ceremonies. And I'll try to find some footage of people playing it. I've got a little bit, so I'm going to share that with you. And if I can dig up some more that's more authentic, I'll also include that. And I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, our next instrument is a shaker. This is called Uli'uli. It's got a coconut, and it's basically a rattle, right? Coconut is filled with, in this case, probably little stones. It's got a handle, and it's got a cap. And you can see on this one, now this one, you guys, is a beautiful example of a traditional instrument, inasmuch as it's got this kapa, which is it's a bark paper that's been printed with traditional symbols and designs, and it's got real feathers, all right? I don't know what kind of feathers they are. Maybe you can guess and leave it in the comments, but this is a traditional style instrument. So what this would be played very simply. You shake it back and forth, usually played by the hula dancers as part of to embellish, you know, the sound. So I'm going to play it away from the mic, but it sounds like this. And of course, if I can find some footage, I'll share it right here. Next up, Pu'Ili. All right, Pu'Ili are bamboo. These were my grandmother's. These are very, very old. Let me show you in the overhead. And you can see that they've been lovingly taped together. The bottoms are closed, and that serves as the handle. And then we've got it split. I'm assuming they just took a saw to this and cut them into these different lengths or strands. And we're going to play these by striking them together. You can strike them out front, like that. Usually one on top of the other. Also, dancers will strike them on their shoulders. Sometimes with other dancers, very common. So go ahead and after you watch this, go look for some video of hula with Pu'Ili. Now I do want to say that in some cases, I've seen some information out there where people call bundled sticks Pu'Ili. And it's not the same thing. I love bundled sticks, but that's not a Pu'Ili. Pu'Ili is a Hawaiian instrument made from bamboo, and it's cut like this, cut in slats, all right? That's a Pu'Ili. If you bundle sticks together, while it might sound similar, that's called bundled sticks, all right? And we don't need to call these Pu'Ili sticks. The instrument is called Pu'Ili. It's obvious that it's sticks. So you can call the drum Pahu. You don't have to call it Pahu drum. We know that it's a drum. All right, let's move on. Speaking of sticks, here's another very basic Hawaiian percussion instrument. This is called kala'au, and it's 2 sticks. Now, I want to just clarify that these are not traditional kala'au. I'm using a couple, they are coconut, but these were sold as dundun sticks for West African drumming, but they're similar, they're very close. Usually the kala'au will be a little thicker and they'll be tapered a little bit at both ends. But in this case, we're just going to hold the sticks. You know, we're going to strike them together like this. You can alternate or just use one hand over the other. Very simple, again, played by dancers usually. Most of the small handheld instruments are played by the dancers as opposed to, you know, the kumuhula, the people who are playing for the dancers. A lot of the small percussion are played by the dancers. So that's another just simple Hawaiian instrument. I want to clarify also, sometimes people will confuse this with things like claves. Claves are different. So the kala'au are longer sticks, about the size of a drumstick, maybe a little shorter, and a little thicker than this, but played, you know, in the way that most cultures would play 2 sticks. Are you guys ready to rock out? Literally. All right. Ili'ili are stones. I'm going to show you. So Ili'ili are basically they're like rock castanets, and the easiest way I've found to approach them, and again, I'm not saying that this is the way to do it, but you want to get, I found these in my neighbor's yard, by the way. I asked him if I could borrow them. Flat stones, fairly flat and thin, right? So I'm going to hold this one in my index and thumb, and that'll be the top. And then the bottom stone I can just place in my 3 fingers, all right, down there. And then I can strike it like this. All right, and I'm going to do that in both hands. So let's get that going. It might take a second to get all this organized, but that's how we're going to play the Ili'ili. Another very simple and elegant, I think, percussion instrument, Ili'ili. And this one takes a little bit of work. So if I was going to use these with, say, small children or older adults, I might, even though it's not traditional, I might say, go ahead and use 2 hands, maybe, you know, in the beginning. Now, that's not traditional, right? It's not what I just showed you, but maybe you could start there and then move over to 1 hand, all right? All right, we're almost done. Hang in there. The ka-eke-eke, I actually don't have any here with me, but I'm going to show you a video. These are stomping tubes, and it's a bamboo tube, and you'll see them in a second. Usually 2 of different pitch, and you just play them by striking the tube perpendicular to the ground. You just strike it right on the ground, and the tube resonates. And that is ka-eke-eke. Here's an example. All right, gang. Hey, I want to thank you for sticking with this video. I hope this has served as a nice introduction to Hawaiian percussion instruments. As promised, I've got one more instrument to share with you guys before we go. Before we do, I want to ask you to hit that like button, hit the bell so you get notifications, and subscribe to World Drum Club if you haven't already. All right, you guys? And go on from here and watch some videos, watch some Hawaiian hula. It's absolutely beautiful and I think very powerful and just profound music. Amazing. And look for the traditional stuff. The modern stuff with, slack key guitar and the steel pedal guitar and ukuleles, that's all fine. But look for this stuff with the instruments that I just showed you, and I think you're going to find it really amazing. All right, are you guys ready? We're going to wrap up with an instrument called pu. The pu is a shell, and in this case, it's a conch. Now this one, I want to show you, is made for playing because it actually has a brass, look at that, so fancy. It has a brass mouthpiece built right onto it, but it's a beautiful shell. Check out the inside. Amazing. It also has a handle. Look at that. All right, so I'm going to give this thing a go, and I'm going to try to aim away from the mic. We'll see. It's pretty loud. Apparently, you can hear these from a couple miles away. I don't know. Maybe if the wind is blowing. All right, here we go. I'm going to do my best trumpet style. What do you guys think? Pretty handy in the fog, I would say. I'm going to show you one thing really quick. I'm not saying this is traditional. It's probably not, but I know this from playing in orchestras and looking at French horn players. If you shove your hand down in there, you can lower the pitch, usually at least a half step. So I'm going to do that. You guys can't see that because I'm going to face this way, but that's what I'm going to do. Listen. And with that, I'm going to send you all on your way. All right, I'm Kalani. This is World Drum Club. Thanks for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Share this video with anyone you like. Maybe bookmark it so you can go back to this if you're a music teacher. Check out more of our videos, especially the ones on how to hold and play percussion instruments. All right, thanks, you guys. We'll see you in another video. Mahalo.